Alright everyone, I'm just checking to make sure that I'm streaming as accordingly. Because I'm going to do kind of a mesh between the two, if you're wondering. As requested by two, like I've done the Winnie the Pooh character I was able to work on. But to make sure that there's something of the, like an other option also, that I'm going to also draw. But the good news is that one is already existing, drawn in existence. Like this is sort of like, okay, here's this emulation of this drawing that already exists. So, this is going to be the case. It says I'm officially streaming. So, good afternoon, everyone. This is Arc Messenger. And welcome to Ske-Doodles. / whatever other thing I'm trying to do. Which is something, it would technically be a Ske-Doodle thing, but this is more actually, the other part would be like trying to see if you could see an example of how Illustrator works also, besides just plain Photoshop that I use. So, this is just basics for this one. So, the main idea for this segment is we already got the other half of the request, which is tied from Winnie the Pooh to Sonic the Hedgehog. And I did promise Sonic the Hedgehog. Alright, just close that now. So, without further ado, we're gonna introduce ourselves into the world of Ske-Doodle. And just making a new layer where we can officially start. Well, here it goes. Now, we kind of got the main idea for this topic from one place to another, where we have to then devise a strategy of what type of character I should do for Sonic. And if you're wondering what's the revised piece I'm going to be doing, I'll give you a hint. This character is a pink character. Like, he's a type of character that has the color scheme of pink. And it's a really classic cartoon character. It's somewhat like that's outside of Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or even any other. It's basically an obscure type of cartoon. Like one of the few that's like companies that technically this character had its own movie, which is based upon shorts, like short series. Well, I mean by short series, I mean not like a short completion series. It's like they're basically like this character has these shorts of situations. So the main idea what I'm going to be doing for this part is that once we try to make sure we get the main idea of stroke. Okay, so yeah, definitely like this stroke is definitely kind of hard to adjust. But let's think of an idea first for Sonic. And I started a little bit earlier because I wanted to make sure that besides working on Sonic, I could also include putting the Pink Panther, which is a reveal. Which, if you didn't get that by now, then probably definitely need to watch, or at least research of what cartoons are back in the time, if you're a fanatic. But let's go ahead and think of an idea. So there's Sonic, there's Tails, there's Knuckles, there's Amy, there's SBO, there's Vector, there's Charmy, Shadow the Hedgehog, Rouge the Bat, uh, Omega, and I think I'm trying to remember. Was his name like? No, it's not. His name's not Alpha. No, his name's Gamma. That was the other character. Of course, Eggman and some other characters I'm trying to reference. Because there's a lot of characters from different universes. Like, for instance, there's this segment where it's like, here's the video game genre of Sonic, where it's their own universe. Then there's television, there's then movies, there's then even comics that there's Sonic. And I recently they did, end the contract from Archie Comics, but there's going to be new ones that are going to come up based on one of the artists, that made that Sonic Mania intro. And just to let you know, because it's kind of hard to remember names these days, but he, this creator, made this in a sense where he was a fan at the time, and he made his own comic strips that are just kind of parody, well, not parody, but they're kind of like parody situations. So yeah, comic book artist Tyson Hess, who worked on the long-running Archie comic. Yeah, well, because I think he's the one that sort of worked on this, but he's mostly known upon I'm not sure if it's the Archie comic series, but I think he was working on the other, because I saw a video that explains he didn't really work as much. He did work at the time, probably some on Archie comics, but he is doing the current comics that are reestablished in some company that he could actually invest the time on. But other than that, yeah, so other than that, if you've seen the Sonic intro from back in the time in, I think, somewhere early 1993 or 1994, it's somewhere close to the time where when you see Sonic, as an example, when you see an intro, you've never seen animation like that in video games. Seriously, you don't really see as much of that fascinated, frames per second of illustrated art. Just all in that landscape and obstacles, and Sonic is able to anticipate his speed, so for us to be able to catch up where he, our eyes could catch on what his movements are. So the main thing is, what I'm trying to figure out is, what was the favorite character? I mean, I know there's some obvious choices like Sonic and Shadow and whoever else, but I want to draw this one character. And yes, this person is a hedgehog. But the reason why I want to draw this because I didn't like he's not my favorite character, if you're wondering. And where he's from at the time, it's not even close to my favorite game. Like I said, not even close. Like it's a type of game where its infamy is at large at the time of what they call of that year associated with Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody knows it. Probably people that at least are fans of any video game whatsoever, they know this game. Because this is the game that people question even what Sega is doing at the time. And I have to say forth, this is Sonic 06, which, like I said, I don't even like the game, but I just thought like it's ironically bad, like in a sense, like not ironic as in, like they did like accidentally that made it seem like it's hilarious to watch people play the game, or even just to fool around in the game. And this is at the time where when the internet was kind of starts its own way, like it kind of manifests itself like when Sonic becomes more, because like at the time like they didn't really think as much about Sonic like in the internet until like probably this video game. And that's where at the time like we think from now for Sonic, it's like whatever game on Sega that they made, we go along with it because it's funny. Like it's sort of meme-ish in a sense, just to even reference the game. Especially like when there's other people commenting on gameplay or just reviewing the video game. So, but I think the character I do want to draw, and I think it's one of the funniest characters, and he's not meant to be funny. Like he's supposed to be a type of character that's supposed to stop. Like if you don't know what the plot is, spoil. Well, not sort. Well, like if you haven't watched it, it's sort of. I don't know. Like you guys are probably not going to play the game anyways, and I encourage you not to. I played the game before. It's not worth your time. Just watch somebody play the video game. So there's a character named Silver the Hedgehog, and then it's just you know, oops. And this is going to be an emulated drawing, so it's like, yeah. So yeah. And the funniest part is that you don't even know like where the end of kind of like this nose, for instance. It's kind of funny because like when you're drawing something like this, it's just where does the nose end? See, like this is the old way I'm drawing it because like I usually do it like this, and then just yeah, let's get. And this is just not even trying because like I'm just rambling around for this. And I usually actually do often draw with a round body instead of just draw with I guess you'd be like, and I'm free falling. And I'm free. Free falling. Yeah, so I should do better than that. Yeah, so for this one, it's basically okay, here's this. And just to let you know, like, I guess I kind of overhyped the silver one. I'm just, for some reason, I somehow ended up just drawing just a Sonic one again. But yeah, if you get what I mean, this is kind of what it looks like. No, he has shorter legs, so it's like, and then. And plus, like, in the game, you don't really see as much knees, so. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm trying to fix this one mistake. Alright, so. Yeah, so it's sort of like this, where. I'm trying to figure out what position that is. And plus, if you're wondering about the thumb, it's not really the best work. So, I mean, I could technically revise this one. You know what? We'll just do Sonic instead. Um, but we're at least we're still keeping this because, I mean, at least it's still close to Sonic. As I say, originally I was going for go for silver, but I was just like, never mind. Or maybe I could do a mesh of both. I don't know. Like, I just. Because at the time I thought I was going to do silver, but then, like, after remembering childhood memories of, doing, like, oh, remember the time when you did these drawings? That was cool, wasn't it? Oh, I forgot that this is actually part of the hand. So I had to erase this part because it's actually his spiky hair. So, Alright, so but I do need to somehow reference that. Okay, so it'll be this, and then it'll be this. You know, so it ends here. Oops. And of course a tail. Yep. Yeah, so why does it look skinnier? I was just wondering. That one was right, but why is it? Okay. There we go. Okay, so this one with and then just have hands like this. But his hands not to be that realistic, so we're just gonna put the hands here. Sorry, I was also meant to do this. So, as I said, this is sort of kind of the idea of what Sonic should look like, at least as a rough version. So now, since now we sort of have an idea, let's transform from a doodle from a sketch. So, yeah, it's like you thought you were wondering how come you're just doodling. So, as I said, the drawing part of it is going to be more complex in a sense where you have to be careful of the proportions. Because you could screw it up if it's possible. I actually never revised, Sonic drawings ever before. I'm actually curious of how I'm just going to end up making something that I could transform into a more cleaner version. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start editing. And you can make changes sometimes too. You just gotta make sure you commit to something of how you're positioning. So, for this one, we're gonna revise like another one of these. Because this one's actually going to be a more dynamic shape. So and if you're wondering if I don't finish, the Pink Panther on time, that's fine. I actually really like to focus on drawing Sonic. So this one's actually a good base. So the next one is, of course, just making green, and then after this one, it's gonna be a randomizer. So you do need something that does base up like that. But later on, over the years, after realizing you have to have something like this, where you have to somewhat kind of reconnect back to the head. Because when you look at Sonic, for instance, like his head is more obscure. So let's look at Sonic. Like, not because I'm not sure whether if we're gonna do the old one or the new one, but his head is somewhat round, but at the same time, it kind of curves around. It's like a slanted circle, like on the top part. So, like, let's just say the face, for instance, I could always change his head to, just going back a few times. I could always make it around like this. But I think this one's actually a better stroke that I did. Okay, so I think his face at least should connect kind of like that. Because the eyes next is what's going to be what I'm going to make sure I anticipate. So, the eyes, for instance, is so strange because the eyes go like this. And then the overlap of the eye, like his eyelash overlaps in some cases, and then kind of goes back in. So like this. And then going back to here, you then erase the rest. Which I guess that kind of explains from this point, you would see, okay, this eye where it kind of overlaps some, but in usual roles, you have to feel like, okay, do I just slant the eye? I wish I could. I wish I could just skew it like this, where it kind of curves like this. And now it also somehow works better. Okay, so forget what I said. It varies of how I use it. So going for the next part. Is that part of the idea? So next part is try to make sure you get the correct symmetrical eye. Sometimes one closer, one that seems slanted far. So here's this. And then here's this. But his eye is supposed to be here. So, because you want one to seem... Because you want the treat that eye to be the same as this eye. So, I think this one's close enough. I just have to clean it up sometimes. So, for this one, you then have to do the same thing. You have to make sure it's actually looking at you. Well, it's as good as it can be. So, the reason why I'm just kind of picky sometimes on this is because sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes it can go in a sense where maybe I don't have to add additional changes, or just to guess. So, onto the Q. And as I said, I can always edit the nose because I'm starting to sense it. So, and you want the eye to have an eyebrow. Sorry, this part, and then where's the eye part? Okay, so, and you want this one to show that he has eyebrows. There. As I said, from this, you want the eye to seem more sense. So, oops. Eraser. Oops. I guess I could erase this. Because you want this eye to seem like, okay, here you go. And just to let you know, the eye might, it's not going to be exact, as I said. It's just my way of drawing things. So, because sometimes his eyes are kind of strange of how I see them. Because, like, the over eye then treats itself as kind of the in-between, which it wants you to treat it like that. And it's like, why? So maybe this one's correct, but I think the one for the outer eye then stops. It didn't actually... Yeah, so it probably has to change from... Yeah, it'll probably end up like this. Technically. But this one, I'm not sure how I'll be able to fix this one. but it's close enough that I could do. So, as I said, there's this eye, and then this is the part where you actually have to get the head. So it's the slanted part. Sorry, hold up. I thought, because it does curve, but I forgot, like, of how, because I think it's just far out. Yeah. It's far away. Yeah, if you're wondering for Sonic, I didn't add ears, so that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I always don't add ears. So, I think, yeah, it's actually 29. Okay, so, yeah, for some reason, I don't add ears. I forgot that because most of the stuff I don't really pay attention as much in my drawing. But when I look currently, and then some of the drawings, or even comics that I made, I was like, why did I stop myself to take a second and actually try to draw also ears? I might have sometimes, but it's like, just this current drawing that I made, it's just like, how did I forget the ears? So, because I think after that, because I think the original Sonic didn't have like that other eyebrow, but whatever. So, but I think his head, since according to his head, I think it's gonna be more like this because he's facing towards me. That's why I keep forgetting. Sorry, mistakes. Um, I'm trying to see if I can remember. Because I know he has then others in the back, but it has to be like this. There we go. Yeah, it just somehow ends up being, I don't know. It ends up being a tutorial now. But, or maybe not even close to a tutorial, it's just like of the way of how I draw Sonic. And it's actually the first time actually It's been, I guess I don't talk as much. So, how's everyone going at this time? I'm just basically trying to, because what I'm currently working on is, as the usual, just portfolio matters. I might be able to just take a kind of a time where, oh, here's a hedgehog. It's like, but how come it looks so small? That's why I have to see if I know the pinpoints. So, hopefully I can fix this now. And then it's... I was wondering, does this work better? I mean, it sort of does. I guess I'm just not good at, how do I say, proportions of Sonic's hair. I just draw them randomly. But, yeah, I'll probably have to draw a different way now for Sonic, because this one actually looks a lot close to it. So, yep, so here you go. There's your Sonic. At least the one that everyone cares and cherishes. But I kind of like it of when it's more jungle-like rather than just a straight edge. So, what should I do after this? Well, this is a different way of how I'm going to be drawing Sonic, so let's draw him with an actual circle. Yeah, so I don't want to just keep redrawing the same thing. So, for the body, is actually a good approach. So, here's this. Yeah, I'm trying to draw the right proportions. I guess I have to draw farther away. Okay, so this is from this point where you're like, yay, dot. You know what, I'm just going to do a Sonic and then do a reference. Naturally, he has more stubby legs, sorry. So it has to be like, what can I say except you're welcome? Oops. Has to be right here. Then, boom. I see what's happening here. Face of this is strange. So open your eyes. When you stand at your night. staring at a Jedi Knight. When you say you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I think that one other shoe thing that happened. I think I screwed that one up. Because it's supposed to post one end. But I think I can fix this. So it's like, sorry about that. This one's gonna go in the copy. I was like, well, don't worry, I didn't erase it. There we go. So, you're welcome. You're welcome. No, just this one. Begin. Oh, did the wrong one. It's supposed to be right, I guess. Oh yeah, it's. Hold up. I forgot. That's my fault. Hold up. Let's merge these two. I'm gonna merge these anyway, but you get what I mean. Boom. Voila. So then, the only thing I have to add left is, I think, a tail. And all it took was dedication. Okay, so just look at him now. This is sort of my version of Sonic. Not the best, but it's... I mean, this is like the closest like type of Sonic that I actually enjoyed to draw and take the time. Because I know like he has the belt buckle too, but I'm trying to do the mesh between like traditional Sonic and some of the other Sonics. But it looks like it doesn't even have a belly button. So I guess I have to erase that. So... And yes, I'm using resources. I'm just doing my way of how I draw things. So, well, here you go. I hope you're happy, everybody. I'm just kidding. To be honest, like, I actually like to draw Sonic most of the time. It's kind of nice every now and then. Oh no, dang it. I think I could do a few steps back to change everything. There we go. Alright, so I made some slight mistake. But good thing I didn't go too far before I even did anything further. So, just in case. Alright, let's merge again. But this time, we're going to go ahead and make sure that the proportions are correct this time. And there's no further surprises. So, I think the nose seems a bit too small. Or not too small, like too... It's getting better. And I know that I have to include this one thing too, which kind of helps. There you go, right? I'm just kidding. I think there's a... There we go. I'm trying to think of what else. And guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to add the ears. As I said I would. But at least I got most of them in there that I didn't really need to change too much. So let's add the ears now. So, oops, it's actually... Oops. And it's... I think I finally got them all done. I just have to make sure I do last changes before I even do anything else. So, alright. I don't know. Because, yeah, after this, it's just like, okay, well, I got these two now finished. So, last messaging overall, it's the best as it can be. I mean, at least as far as doing it in a short time. Because sometimes you get picky. Sometimes this is going to be a kind of a short discussion. Because sometimes when you do have an opportunity to be able to draw things like this, try your best to kind of stick with that same idea. Because most of the time you're just going to end up trying to keep going back, which should be the mentality you should have. But the only thing that you might struggle for that is trying to know, is this the right direction to go? But because I don't really like some that are just uneven, basically. Oops. Because when I do the fill option, it's like, oh, you know, I did it, but it kind of looked a little bit messy. So, because you want something that kind of has enough strength and enough stability. So, you know what, since I'm doing traditional Sonic, just do it like this. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I want to do something that's kind of a quirky thing. So here's this. And don't worry, this is not going to be in the final thumbnail. So, and you know what, let me go ahead and add another layer just in case if I don't mess it up. So, you know, and then. So, Sonic says, oops, what is it? This? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay, so I guess the main lesson here for today is, well, like how Sonic does it. If you have dreams, do not run away of responsibility. Because when you try to run away with responsibility, that means you won't be able to know the value of what does mean something, of you being part of a team or being part of just something of any work that you do. So, as an artist like me, for instance, I'm still drawing Sonic sometimes whenever I get the convenience. But it's important if you're an animator or an artist or even a designer. You just kind of keep practice on drawing. Because you never know, like, all that practice and be able to know, like, the fundamentals of art. You'll be able to make things like these, where it goes from, like, doodles, like, from the previous one. Oops. Yeah, like when you make doodles like this. Don't worry, like, I have no shame for this. So, you can make drawings based from this character, this one Sonic fan art, in a sense, where you'll be able to get from one point of drawing. You know, it's just for fun. But with dedication and time, you'll be able to end up making something like this, where it does require to have references, to study a little bit more rather than just what's in your head. I mean, it could go a long way, but without any way of being able to continue on, you know, like of an existing character or creating original characters, you have to know for sure of what parts of the body or what structures they have that you expect them to have. So, that's my Sonic says, everyone. And I'm sorry, like, I mean, like, at least I was able to fulfill the task of finishing out you know, the Twitter poll, like, fulfillments of, I think, the month. So, from this point, I'm going to try to see if I could at least show you guys kind of the idea of what, you know, creations you could do for illustration. I guess next time in Ske-Doodles. But as far as I know, like, I'll have to plan that out. Or maybe, like, hopefully I can save it off until, you know, next week for Ske-Doodles. Because I might have to work more than just the Pink Panther. Because there's a lot of things I have to vector illustrate. But I'll try to hold it off until, like, if I do get the chance, you know, to talk to you guys again next time. So, enjoy. I guess I hope that you enjoy the drawing, as well as the amount of dedication and time to work on. So, I mean, certainly I enjoyed it. As I said, like, I wish I was able to dedicate more time specifically on Silver the Hedgehog, but I kind of overplayed that accidentally. Um, so, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Whenever I, you know, hopefully to do, Pink Panther. But in the maybe on Thursday I could maybe work on that also. It's possible. I might move it to this coming Thursday. But I really do need to make sure I still dedicate some of the time to work on some of the illustrations and to show my progression of whether it's illustrations and 3D modeling and all those different pieces that I've shown you since last time. And I guess just leave you a note when it comes to the last video that wasn't uploaded for because like when I did the first time, like I wasn't sure if I should, but because at that time like it was sort of a completed process. But in this case, I wanted to make sure that once in the future, I have to make sure that like if I did it in the correct format, I'll be able to do it precisely as I should. Be able to do the right timing, because it varies of which videos I'm gonna actually put into the thing, or like what videos I can actually put on to the thing, or like on Twitch. But this video will come up on YouTube, hopefully, every Wednesday. That's what I'm trying to plan, at least every Wednesday. And that includes on Twitch as well. I have to make sure that, because like I originally uploaded it, that the amendings version of Work in Progress, but for some reason it didn't show up. It was loading, but I guess like I have to make sure I confirm all the information. So, because I wasn't sure if I could just upload it and then just go from there. But no, I guess you have to be very diligently looking upon the video and watch it upload until it is done. So, but enough of my rambling. Yeah, so this is Ske-Doodles. Hopefully I'll be able to see you guys next time. Yeah, live a decent life, everyone. Okay, bye.